being lovable, finding what's lovable about yourself, wanting to be lovable, wanting to connect and be acceptable, lovable like others without judgment, without disgust, then over the next few minutes, this is going to take you a little bit further. So you've already done a lot of great work. I've done a lot of mirror work, done a lot of somatic work, done a lot of relational work, and there's always something more. So I invite you right now to try something new and see where, in what contexts, you still feel unlovable or lovable, but mixed with other feelings and thoughts. So, a quick example, and then we're going to move. When I say I'm lovable, for the purpose of inquiring into where am I not, you can try that yourself. I'm lovable. Not I'm unlovable, but I'm lovable. Like we're trying to affirm something that's true, but our nervous system, our mind, our emotions, our memories are going to say, aha, not here, not because of this. We want that. This isn't a problem, it's information. You got into your room, you're like, what needs to be cleaned? Your attention goes to the thing that needs to be cleaned. You take a minute to clean it. Now everything's reorganized or reorganizable. And you can feel better in that space. We're doing the same thing here. So when I said it, for the purpose of discovering where am I still unlovable? Or where can I not experience that and bring that into my actions and my relationships? One of the things that surprised me was when I was young, we'd go to the movies and the trailers would come on. I would hide and I'd hide like something like this, and my mom would protect me and she'd cover my ears, right? She's loving me. But if I think about my experience, it doesn't feel lovable. It doesn't feel like I'm being loved. It feels like I'm scared, like I'm hiding, like I'm weak, and all of a sudden there's all these other judgments. So there's being loved in a particular form, particular context, with a particular set of actions by a particular person. But my experience is mixed with all these other emotions and thoughts and feelings and identities and conclusions, and therefore I am, and therefore I can't. It's a lot mixed up. It's helpful to be able to pick that apart with words, but the reason I'm able to pick that apart with words is because I'm actually able to go into the experience of it and start to discern things. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to give you the space to unpack, to differentiate a few of these feelings so that you can have the lovable that you do have. So you have a body. Your body knows how to, even if it doesn't get to very often, feel loved, lovable, accepted, at peace, and whatnot. But we're going to expand the areas of your life that you can feel that and acknowledge the other information that's there. So I've got my hand up. I'm going to invite you to do that too. Bounce just for a moment because I may have stirred a few things up. Now, this hand that's up is going to help us hold on to the attention or attend to the experience of, I love this. So think about something that you've experienced. Oh, I love this. Now, I look around my room. I've got a couple things that I can immediately find that experience. These are really cool piece of art. This little jewelry box that I use for necklaces, and it's like, yeah, I love that. So it's an experience of, oh yeah, I love that, which is similar to, wouldn't it be nice, or isn't it nice to be together? It's the general feeling of, I love this. If you can't get that right now, you can probably get, there's no problem right now. It's all good right now. A little bit of silence. The silence, the stillness is part of I'm lovable because we're not proving, we're not fighting, we're not disgusted with ourselves. There's not a lot happening. And so our natural space of, oh, this is good, can arise. There's nothing to do, which is just one form of it. Okay, so now that you've had that, when you say, I'm lovable, what happens? What do you think of? What happens with your body? And What do you remember, if anything? It's not always a specific memory. Often it's just a way of growing up, way of being, a way of being you these days. Now, our for reference is, there's nothing to do. I can relax. Of course, I'm lovable. But there's a gap. There's a difference between that and whatever you're experiencing when you say I'm lovable. Good. We don't need to bridge that gap. We want to actually notice that gap. There's nothing to do with that gap right now. Except maybe take your other hand, make some space. So one hand's close to you, palm up, as a reminder, like, I know what this is like. Some part of me knows, even if lots of other parts of me don't know. The other hand is like the parent, it's like the protector, it's like the big brother who's the right big brother, or the big sister who can support you, or what? What is that bigger idea, space, container that makes the more tender parts of you a little more safe, able to relax? You can say to yourself, I got you. I got me. Now, there's a few things, few places in our life that this can then start to get problematic. One is when I'm with myself, when I'm alone. Another is when I'm with others. Another is when I'm doing something. And another is when I'm doing nothing. Big areas of our experience, because oftentimes we're alone and doing something, but we get busy. We can't really be with ourselves. Or with others, but we don't have time for them. Or there's nothing to do, so we find something to do. Or there's something to do and we don't like doing it, right? It would be nice to go into these modes, these states, these ways of being, and just have the time that we're having. But we often bring something else for various reasons. So we're not going to worry about all the reasons right now. We're going to notice what happens. So we've got the intention, idea, hey, I'm lovable, and that can get disrupted. So, hey, I got this. I can be that. I can be here. I'm lovable. I can be with myself. And then let's go with others. When I'm with others, I'm lovable. Hmm. If that brings up memories, thoughts, contractions, feelings, just soften your body and look around the space gently. Look up into your left, look down into your right. It's a tricky way, if you look around the space in a calm way, to do a little bit of integral eye movement technique. Little diagonals with your eyes all over the place, while feeling what you're feeling and letting memories come. Just a tricky way, not in a formal technique. More specifically into process if you ever have a session with me or want to find a practitioner. Come back to neutral. Let's go back. So, hey, I'm lovable. I got this. I've got my back. I'm supporting myself in this moment emotionally. And I'm lovable when I'm alone, when I'm with myself. And what comes up? I just feel a little tension through my back. Okay, how familiar is that? It's pretty familiar. When's the first time I can recall that? Something comes to mind. How vivid is that? Okay. And then a relaxing movement of the eyes, diagonal, other diagonal as I keep thinking about the memory, and horizontal. Look around the room, relax. What's different? come back to neutral. So now as you look around the space, what's different? What's different in your experience? What's different about colors? What's different about your presence, your aliveness? I really don't like that word aliveness. It doesn't really mean anything. So I'm lovable with aliveness. That's how it works. You notice where it's a little bit off. Oh, my mouth smells. I'm going to brush my teeth. No big deal. I'm lovable with aliveness, with people who feel alive. And all of a sudden, body's starting to feel a little disgust and contraction. Excellent. Notice that. Notice what's up for you. Is it familiar? When's the first time you can remember feeling that feeling? For me, one of them, a recurring one, it was this time I was at a recital, a music recital, and there was this kid playing the tuba, and he was all in love with playing the tuba, and my everything for me was like, oh, that's terrible. I could never do that. That's been an area I've learned over the years to experience more and more, and for myself and others. And so disgust is the last piece we're going to touch on here. So you have a word for it, you have a way for it to think about it. A lot of times, this contraction, this before judgment, is this sense of of disgust. And we don't even name it as disgust because we don't really think of disgust as a useful tool or a useful experience or useful emotion. But it is. Keeps us safe, keeps us at a distance. So whatever's coming up for you, however it's called, take a moment to be with it. When was the first time you experienced it? The first time you can remember feeling it? How vivid is that memory? And gently move your eyes in a diagonal. Keep thinking about it and go to the other diagonal. Keep thinking about it. Go in the horizontal direction. Relax. You've got a position now. One hand up, one hand around. You've got a practice and a process you can apply on your own. And you got a way to check progress in the moment. Progress somatically, progress with how you can think. And one of the benefits that I've noticed by doing this, in with this particular aspect of life, lovable with other people, lovable in these different areas, is I can start to have thoughts that I hadn't had before. And start to wonder, what would it be like to go on this kind of a vacation, to do that, to try that? What is what's it like if I just slow down? What if I do this other thing that would probably be really nice that I haven't allowed myself to even imagine doing? Because to imagine something that we really want, that we can't take the time, it doesn't feel like it's worth thinking about. We got these other things to do. Well, there might be something we tend to call lovableness. Well, if I did that, I wouldn't feel lovable. If I did that, I wouldn't feel good. But now you can expand yourself into those possibilities. And if you can expand yourself and imagine those possibilities without shutting down, without stopping, coming up with any number of really wonderful excuses, then what could you start to do? And who could you start to do it with? And how much fun, love, good experiences could you have? Let me know how it goes. Love to hear it. And happy adventuring.